Hello, having a heat wave still here in Arizona. Well, we got to talk about lithium. Lithium, this is a mineral that is found in a lot of foods in the soil. And you may have heard of lithium as the drug that treats bipolar depression. Of course, a lot of drugs have since come out then, so you don't hear about lithium as much anymore. But did you know that lithium in its natural mineral state can actually make you very healthy and protect your brain? We got to talk about lithium. Okay, so let's start with the sciencey stuff, shall we? So lithium does come in a prescription. We'll talk about the natural in a second. And for decades has been used to treat depression and bipolar depression. And so this new study came out that made me want to talk about lithium in depth. So guess what? Among bipolar patients, ancestry may predict how well it works in them. So ancestry turned out to be a significant predictor of response to lithium by adults with bipolar disorder based on data from 172 patients. In this study, they said lithium remains the first-line treatment for bipolar depression, but clinical improvement occurs in less than 1/3 of patients. So it's not that helpful, apparently, except for those 1/3 of patients. And then now they're thinking it's because of genetic factors and ancestry. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there and talk about that because what I think is more interesting is what natural lithium can do for you. And I'm not talking about the prescription. I'm talking about lithium orotate. That is something that's found naturally in our soil, so we find it naturally in our foods. I'll tell you about what foods they're found in a second, but what is natural lithium and what is the benefit? What does that actually do? So in microdoses, much like how we sometimes take zinc, for wound healing, bone health, immune system support, and selenium for thyroid support like for Hashimoto's and eye health. You have to be careful, right? Because you have to take those type of minerals in micro doses, because if you take too much, it can be very detrimental. Well, the same thing with lithium orotate. If you take it in its food sources, that's a great healthy way to get lithium, and I'll talk about that. But for example, we have the natural kind, and I said that's lithium orotate. The prescription is usually lithium carbonate, so very different in its molecular structure. And in the carbonate, it's in much, much higher doses. Very potent, and there are a lot of side effects and risks with the prescription lithium, such as affecting the thyroid, affecting how the kidneys function, even sometimes tremor and acne and being fatigued. However, lithium orotate, the non-prescription natural version, which you can actually buy at health food stores and is over the counter, it's considered safe even by the FDA. And usually when used correctly and in the recommended doses, there's not a problem. So what does it do? Well, lithium is able to get inside the brain itself. It can get inside the cells of our brain, so it can affect the workings of the cell. For example, it can actually elevate our mood. In microdoses, it can help calm brain activity, promote positivity, a positive mood, support emotional wellness, and even help enhance the brain's natural detoxification process. So I think it's great for providing antioxidant support and help balance the neurotransmitters in our brain. We have a lot of them. We have serotonin, dopamine, a lot more than that too, but help balance all those. So in a nutshell, I kind of look at it as an antioxidant for the brain. So people that are deficient in lithium, natural lithium that is, tend to have more insulin sensitive tissues. So they may have more blood sugar imbalances. Low levels found in children, if they don't get enough lithium in their foods and their diet, might have developmental brain delays. They might get ADHD, attention deficit, nervousness, lack of focus, and poor sleep. So besides lithium helping with irritability, agitation, unstable moods, it can actually help focus. So I always look at it like if you have a job that's high focus, stressful, and you need all the concentration you can, I think eating foods high in lithium might be very helpful. They did do some studies on the natural lithium in animal models, and they showed that lithium was found to promote the increased cytoprotective B cell activity and promote healthy brain aging. How great is that? So you may find in the store lithium orotate comes anywhere from 5 to 10 milligrams daily, all the way up to 20 milligrams daily. I know with my patients, if I have a patient that I recommend lithium orotate to, I always go low and slow, and I start with 5 milligrams. If you have a doctor that's well versed in lithium, you can talk to your doctor about this, but I can talk about some foods it's high in, and you can just see if you get these foods in your diet and just be happy to know there's lithium in it. That's really great for your brain. I'm not saying it prevents dementia, but if it provides brain support, healthy brain, if I was, I think it would probably be a good thing to maybe mitigate our chances of getting dementia. I can't say that for sure though. Okay, let's see what foods are high in lithium. Well, let's see. We can find it in many cereals, potatoes, tomatoes, cabbage, and mineral waters. They can be in the highest content in legumes. So green peas and pinto beans, right? That's easy. They can be found in certain spices like nutmeg, coriander, cumin. I love using cumin as a spice. But it also depends what geographic range these spices come in, because certain soils have a higher lithium content. So I think that's important. But you know, the thing about being in potatoes and tomatoes and cereals, I mean, what do those foods have in common? They're really high in carbohydrates. So I'm not going to say go out and eat a bunch of cereal and potatoes. I do like the fact legumes usually are very high in fiber, and I recommend legumes anyway for a healthy diet, because you want the carbohydrates, legumes are carbs, to be high in fiber, so that way you don't spike your blood sugar and raise your insulin. So I think eating legumes and peas may be a great way to get some healthy brain support. So where do we find the highest amount of lithium in the world? Well, apparently Australia is the world's biggest supplier. Argentina, Chile, and China produce it from their salt lakes. And Chile holds the world's largest lithium reserves. That's interesting, because I thought I've read before that Bolivia does as well. Oh, yep, it does. So again, where your spices come from matter, right? Because then they have more lithium there. So what else can I tell you about that? Any other things? So do you know that in our water that lithium can, some studies have shown that lithium can be, it can support anti-suicidal ideation or have anti-suicide effects, even in minute levels in our drinking water. I've never tested the tap water that comes out of my tap. There is a way you can take a water sample, and there are companies that will test your water to see what's in it. But wouldn't that be interesting to know if there's more lithium in tap water in areas with lower suicide rates and areas that have high suicide rates? Is there no lithium in the water? I think that would be I'll have to search and see if they've done a study about that. Oh, here, I found something here from the National Institutes of Health. Lithium may reduce the risk of dementia. Well, I just said, well, it makes sense that it would. I didn't know for sure if it did. It increases telomere length. Yeah, when you think about the health of your DNA, like fasting increases telomere length. It helps your cells live longer and be healthier. It lengthens telomere. So that's what lithium does too. Again, why I think it's a great brain antioxidant. So, all right, so now we know that natural lithium can help support mood, balance the neurotransmitters in the brain, act like an antioxidant for the cells in the brain, maybe even lift a little bit of dementia risk and suicidal risk. I think that's kind of great. So that is my 2 cents about lithium. I think it's a really great mineral that you may have never had a conversation about or even thought about. I would love to know your comments below because I think it's really interesting. Okay, everybody. Well, on a side note, on the weight loss front, I am still a solid 10 pounds down, have not gained it back. Yeah, just waiting to break through this plateau. It'll come. I'm just staying the course. But still feel really good. Lots of energy. I feel really healthy. 0 back pain. I am happy to report. And my husband now is down 20 pounds, of course, because men always lose weight faster. I mean, that's just the way that goes. But his knee is better. He's walking more. And so, you know what? It just goes back to the old-fashioned remedy. If you have aches and pains and illness, eat right, exercise, lose weight. Save a ton of money on health bills. Now, of course, I know all of us, we may have other issues going on, but generally speaking, we kind of forget about how much weight loss really does help your body get healthier. So I thought I would mention that. Boy, as soon as I break through this plateau, I will let you know like what I did, but I'm still just eating very carefully and all that. And then I'm in Arizona, heat waves, super hot, very humid today. Just saw what Hawaii is going through. I think Maui has some terrible fires going on right now. The wind speeds, 50 mile per hour, I think it said winds. The hurricanes, so not so much water, but a lot of wind. And since I was just in Hawaii this summer and we had beautiful weather, what I thought was really beautiful all over the place, there was just tiki torches all down the street. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. But I don't know where the fires are coming from, but if there was a lot of tiki torches and wind, like that's not a good mix. So hope that wasn't the cause. But praying for you in Hawaii. I hope everyone is safe. I'm just what I'm seeing on the news. I'm sad to see that. But as far as Arizona, we're having heat advisory warnings, very humid now, and the monsoons still really haven't hit. We had like 1 or 2 storms, but nothing major like we are overdue for. So wonder what's happening in your part of the country. If you want to comment below. Strange weather, right? Love to hear your thoughts on that. Okay, thanks for being here today. I'll see you on the next one.